The markets are closed, but the business stories are just heating up. Hello, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Catch up with us on Business Brief. Asian shares trade mixed on Thursday as U.S. stocks hover near record highs. Hong Kong's Hang Seng and Australia's ASX are in the red. The Singapore Straits Times is flat, while the rest of the Asian markets are in the green. In the currency market, the U.S. dollar edges higher against the Japanese yen. It's little changed against the Hong Kong and Singapore dollars, but weaker against the South Korean won and the Thai baht. The Australian dollar, meanwhile, gains against the greenback. In commodities, gold edges up by 0.1%, while oil prices decline. In cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin rises 0.1%, and Ethereum trades more than 2% higher. President Donald Trump signs the bill that ends the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, just 2 hours after the House of Representatives voted to restart disrupted food assistance. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers will finally get paid. The measure will also revive the air traffic control system across the U.S. The Republican-controlled chamber passed the package by a vote of 222 to 209. It's still not clear when government services and operations will resume.
And it's an honor now to sign this incredible bill and get our country working again. Thank you.
President Bongbong Marcos vows there will be arrests of those involved in the multi-billion peso flood control scandal before Christmas. He warns they will have no Merry Christmas as the government cracks down on long-running infrastructure irregularities. Graft and malversation complaints target both officials and contractors over rigged bidding, overpricing, and even so-called ghost flood control projects in central and northern Luzon. The president stresses cases must be airtight and charges are not just for optics. He also vows to clean up the government's spending process.
Bumubuo tayo ng transparency portal upang makapagbigay sa publiko ng mas malawak na access sa impormasyon tungkol sa mga proyekto, kabilang ang mga detalye hinggil sa mga kontratista. Nagpapatupad ng tanggapan, lokasyon at status ng proyekto.
President Marcos says the Philippine government will boost public spending before year-end to revive growth. The economy slowed to 4% in the third quarter, its weakest since the pandemic. The peso hit a record low and stocks slid to pre-2021 levels, adding to investor concerns. Marcos blamed typhoons, climate disruptions, and global trade headwinds for the downturn. He said higher infrastructure and social spending should help the country recover lost ground by year's end. Meanwhile, Marcos says the economy slowed due to local challenges and global trade shifts.
There really was a downturn in economic activity. You have to remember that it's not only because of these problems. Yung bagyo, yung nawala na working days na sa sa ekonomiya natin because of climate change. And you have to also remember the situation, the global situation. We are not the only ones suffering the shocks that come from the new trade structure that has been imposed on the rest of the world. And so we are all adjusting to that.
President Marcos administers the oath of office to Charlito Martin Mendoza as the new commissioner of the Bureau of Internal Revenue. The ceremony took place today at Malacanang Palace. Mendoza served as Undersecretary of the Revenue Operations Group at the Finance Department, overseeing both the Tax and Customs Bureaus. As district collector in Cebu, he led record-breaking collections and earned ISO certification for all ports under his watch. The Vice President for Trade of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Brian Ang, congratulated Mendoza calling him a well-deserving public servant and technocrat. He notes Mendoza has championed local industries and exporters and has a deep understanding of revenue policies. The private sector is confident he will continue to promote industry-sensitive fiscal policies. President Marcos is reportedly appointing a new head for the Bureau of Customs as he continues to rearrange the positions of his cabinet officials. This following the replacement of its godson, Romeo Lomagi Jr. as BIR chief. Meanwhile, BOC Commissioner Ariel Nepomuceno is allegedly in line to take the post of Transportation Secretary. A farmers group slams government's new variable rice tariff scheme. The Federation of Free Farmers says Executive Order 105 was issued without consulting stakeholders, calling it defective and ineffective in protecting local farmers from cheap imports once the current import ban ended. It criticized economic managers for timing the measure to avoid legislative scrutiny. National Manager Raul Montemayor accused economic managers of habitually ignoring the law and manipulating rules to get their way. He adds they misled the president into signing defective executive orders. The original Hermes Birkin is made public after its celebrated Sotheby's auction in July. Japanese CEO Shinsuke Sakimoto bought the custom-made handbag at $10 million. Sakimoto says the bag represents the philosophy of his luxury resale company. Hermes produced the bag for English actress Jane Birkin in 1984. Global wine production is set for a modest recovery this year. The international organization 232 million hectares, 3% increase compared to 2024. However, outputs remain below average due to climate change and changing consumer habits. The OIV data show wine consumption has been declining around the world. We're taking a short break. More stories are coming up next. You're watching Business Brief. You're back on Business Brief. Bilyonaryo Robina Gokongwei-Pe once again denies the outlandish rumor that she has a twin who's a snake. On BNC's Beyond the Game, she called the myth both strange and hilarious. Robina was referring to the old snake twin rumor, which claimed she had a half-human, half-snake twin who allegedly used Robinson's Galleria as his hunting ground. The tales peaked in the 1990s, suggesting the creature preyed on women in dressing rooms and even abducted children from comfort rooms. Actress Alice Dixon was reportedly one of the creature's so-called victims.
Man, like, what are some challenges or obstacles that you faced that you've had to overcome?
You want the funny one or the serious one?
Let's do both.
The funny one is explaining this ahas myth that's been going on for the past 40 years.
Gosh. I found it kind of weird and funny, but it did seem like it was a big issue.
It is, yeah. It's very weird. And you can't believe how some people could actually believe it.
I heard that you actually offered the whole Robinsons or Galleria to somebody who could find.
I said that 20 years ago.
Wow. Let's plant one and maybe I can get that mall, no?
While she may not have a reptilian twin, she did share the very real challenges she has faced in life.
Okay, on the serious side though, what is a challenge that you've had to overcome?
Running a business? Well, I guess running a business is a challenge in itself. You just have to say that you have to solve it, because if you're just going to sit there worrying about it, it's never going to get solved.
Despite weak consumer spending, Philippine malls are holding their ground, showing how retail remains one of the country's most resilient sectors. Vacancy in Metro Manila malls is 11.4%, the lowest since early 2020. New openings, including Green Hills Mall, Gateway Mall 2, and the SM Mall of Asia expansion, continue to drive demand. Real estate experts expect vacancies to drop to 9.5% by late 2026, with holiday spending, lower inflation, and rising remittances lifting retail traffic. Mall operators are also adding more dining events, pop-up entertainments, and interactive spaces to keep foot traffic strong. By year-end, take-up in Metro Manila malls is seen to hit 502,000 square meters. Ayala Corporation reports a steady core net income of 36.6 billion pesos for the first 9 months of the year. The company says its core net income for the third quarter rose 4% to 12.8 billion pesos. This growth was driven by higher contributions from BPI and Ayala Land and supported by its portfolio businesses, including AC Health, AC Logistics, Integrated Microelectronics, and iPeople. From a trillion peso profit, Villar Land Holdings Corporation, or the value of Villar Land Holdings Corporation plummets to 1.4 billion pesos. Led by ultra-Bilyonaryo Manny Villar, the company's financial statements erased its profit surge declared in 2024. Villar Land initially used a fair value model to capture a huge one-time revaluation gain based on appraisals. Its external auditor, Punong Bayan and Arroyo, urged the company to stick with the cost model. Amending the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, along with anti-political dynasty, anti-turcotism, and campaign finance reforms are seen as crucial to a stronger, sustainable anti-corruption drive. On BNC's Business 360, Caloocan 2nd District Representative Edgar Egay Erice calls the 1.45 trillion peso insertions a hijack of the president's budget. He blames both executive and legislative leadership for massive flood control corruption and urges the president to push long-ignored reforms as a Christmas gift to Filipinos.
Makakapagbigay siya ng pamasko talaga sa mga mamayang Pilipino if he will include in his legislative agenda several policy reforms that could at least minimize corruption. And that's one, ang tingin ko dyan, I've been advocating this for 30 years, yung anti-political dynasty law. Kung yan, maibibigay niya sa mga Pilipino, yan yung legacy ni Presidente Marcos dahil that will be against his family's interests. Pero ito naman, ang kapalit, yung interest ng bayan, yung turncoatism, baling-bingan lang ang baling-bingan eh. Kaya nangyayari yan, supermajority, wala nang check and balance. Kaya kung may political party systems reform, yung anti-turncoatism, kasama niya, ay malaking bahagi ng korupsyon na iwasan natin. Pangatlo, yung campaign finance reform.
Erice also questions the independence of the Infrastructure Corruption Commission and pushes to fast-track House Bills 4453 and 5699 to restructure its leadership and strengthen its powers. Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation secures pre-approval for a 15 billion peso bond offering with an oversubscription option of 5 billion pesos. The funds will support key infrastructure projects like Cavitex, Calax, and Lapu-Lapu Expressway, along with debt refinancing. The offering will run from November 17 to 21 with a targeted listing on December 2, aiming to strengthen liquidity and drive nation-building initiatives. Renewable energy pioneer Alternergy Holdings is repositioning its retail electricity business with the creation of Alter Power Res, focusing on sustainable and renewable supply. Alter Power aims to boost competition in the retail electricity market, targeting end users who value sustainability amid growing demand. The company has an approval from the Securities and Exchange Commission and will soon register with the Energy Regulatory Commission to operate as a licensed retail electricity supplier. Newly listed West Zone water utility Maynilad reports strong third quarter results with revenues up 9.5% to 27.7 billion pesos and core net income rising 18.1%. The company continues to boost supply and sustainability to 32.8% and expanding major water and wastewater treatment facilities. Maynilad maintains 24-hour service for nearly 98% of customers, reinforcing its commitment to reliable water and sewerage services across Metro Manila and Cavite. From bringing the first Chinese car brands to Philippine roads to now steering towards new energy vehicles, Bilyonaryo Romel Sitin just keeps staying ahead of the curve. And his motoring empire is already gearing up for its next big drive. Our mobility correspondent, G. Baroga, has the story.
The local electric vehicle scene is moving fast, and Bilyonaryo Romel Sitin's United Asia Automotive Group is already steps ahead of the game. Long before EVs started trending, Sitin's company was already among the first to champion Chinese car brands in the Philippines, and according to Romel, they were also behind the first assembly plant.
I can see that after the expiry of the EBITDA law on 2030, so tax rates will adjust back to normal, and we are ready. We are ready for that, and actually we're also planning for that as early as now to expand our assembly line.
Passed in 2022, the EBITDA law aims to boost EV adoption and build the country's EV ecosystem. But some of its incentives are set to expire in 5 years unless lawmakers step in to extend them. Sitin's motoring empire has been running for nearly 2 decades, now holding 6 car brands in its stable, the newest being Jetour.
Now that Jetour Auto is officially part of the Bilyonaryo-led United Asia Automotive Group, Romel Sitin shares that the two companies have good synergy, and their main goal right now is to be the go-to mobility partner of every Filipino, not only worry-free, but deeply personal.
Jetour Auto Philippines, or JAPI, says it's confident the partnership will take their growth to the next level.
We want to make sure that our customers not only buys the car, we want to make sure that the customers get to know a reliable partner in owning their vehicles or in driving their vehicles. Reliable partner like JAPI to be more aggressive in after sales.
And leading this new chapter is their latest model, the Jetour T1 Lightning IDM, a plug-in hybrid SUV. It turns heads with its sleek design, but it's also packed with smart safety tech and comfort features.
With the T1, we kind of see a bridge here of the new energy vehicles. Considering it's so late in the year, but we're still introducing new variants, to keep the market satisfied, provide quality vehicles, keep the customers' options open.
Bilyonaryo heir Timothy Sitin adds, the last stretch of the year is always an exciting time for the auto industry, and they are optimistic about how 2025 will close out. For BNC Mobility, G. Baroga.
We're taking another breather, a look at how Philippine shares did today when we return. Stay tuned. Philippine shares rise for the second straight day. The PSEI closed 0.2% higher at 57.26. Majority of the sectoral indices ended in the green, with services rising the most at over 2%. Advancers outnumber decliners 95-82, with value turnover at 6.5 billion pesos. Today's most active stocks were mixed, with Globe Telecom rising the most at nearly 10%. Metrobank fell the most at almost 3%. In the currency market, the peso is currently trading at 59.13 against the dollar, stronger from the previous close of 59.17. Cebu Pacific has tripled its profits in the first 9 months. Net income jumped to 9.5 billion pesos, up from 3.4 billion last year. Revenues rose 18% to 87.6 billion pesos as 20 million passengers took to the skies. Earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization grew 26% to 22.2 billion pesos, reflecting strong demand and improved efficiency. CEO Michael Shook says the results show the resilience of the airline's business model and a commitment to affordable, sustainable travel. Auditing giant Punong Bayan and Arroyo flags Villarland's 6.8 billion peso inventories as high risk. The concern is reliance on management estimates for pricing and construction. Inventories include 3.99 billion raw land, 612 million houses and lots, 94 million condo units, and 1.81 billion memorial lots. Auditors inspected projects, contracts, and invoices, and also tested revenue recognition. They warned small changes in assumptions could materially impact financial statements. DMCI Power Corporation moves forward with a 3 billion peso, 15-megawatt coal biomass plant expansion in Nara, Palawan. The new facility aims to boost Palawan's energy supply and ensure reliable power for local consumers in partnership with Paleco. The project has approval from the Energy Department and is designated as an energy project of national significance. Ayala Corporation reported an increase in earnings growth fueled by stronger aviation services, continued recovery in airline catering, institutional catering growth, and stable contributions from its water operations. The group recorded the 9% period-to-period increase in consolidated net income to 384.3 million pesos for the third quarter. Asia enters the final quarter with a stronger balance sheet and a diversified revenue base. The group expects to sustain growth momentum through the peak holiday travel season, the expansion of institutional catering contracts, and the onboarding of new foreign airline clients in its in-flight kitchens by the fourth quarter. That's a wrap for today's Business Brief. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Join us again tomorrow as we bring you the stories that help you plan your next big, bold moves in business. Only here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel.